Hello, everybody. I was just sitting here working on this crochet piece and started getting some messages, so I'm gonna go ahead and share that with y'all. So, and I definitely feel like it was personal to me, but I know I'm not the only one with that issue, so I'll share it. The message that I'm getting is that time is irrelevant. And what the ancestors mean by that is the fact that it's not real. We live in this, in this world, in this sort of paradigm with this program already set up for us to tell us to go to school and at which age we should be finished and when to have children, when to get married, when to travel, when to start our own business, etc., etc. Every stage of your life is set up by things that society says that you should have accomplished at a certain age. And the ancestors are like, it's abusive. It's abusive to yourself, it's abusive to others. You should not make yourself feel less than for not having the life that people say that you should have. It's abusive to others when you tell them that they don't measure up. They're talking about healing and how so many of us, we want to get away from our abusers, and we're the one abusing ourselves sometimes. Obviously not in all cases, but we're the ones abusing ourselves with our thought process, with this clock, this imaginary clock in our head that tells us that we're behind on everything, or we're losers because we don't have this, that, and the other already set up. And they were like, if you understood what divine timing is, you know that everything happened in its own time, when it's supposed to happen, not just because you're such and such age, or just because you work so hard, or just because everyone else has it. And why are you different? The ancestors are like saying that self-love begins not in the heart, but in the mind. It begins in your thought process. It begins in the way you think, the way that you see yourself, the way that you talk to yourself. Mind your words, mind your speech, and stop abusing yourself. And when other people come and try to tell you what it is that you're supposed to be doing, stop allowing that abuse. It is a form of abuse, and you don't have to put up with it. This message is particularly for me because I'm guilty of that. Like, to be 31 and have no kids and not be married, it's like people are always like, what's wrong with you? Or why this, why that? Or you don't want to die alone and all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm not really worried about dying alone, honestly. But sometimes I do get upset about not having kids because I really love kids. But as I said before in other videos, my healing has been much more important to me than making children when I'm not ready for them. I know that I wouldn't have been a good mother, you know what I mean, if I had had them a moment sooner, honestly. And that's what divine timing is about. It's about understanding where you are, why you're there, learn those lessons so that you can push forward. And sometimes I feel like, I deserve a certain life, but I know that for whatever reason, I'm just not there yet. So, and we have to learn to be okay with not being there yet. Everything in its own timing. And that's really all I have to say. Yeah, that's really all that they're saying about that is to stop abusing yourself in your mind. Fix your thought process. Let go of what someone else says that you're supposed to do. Sometimes it holds you. They're saying that, 1, 2, 3. Some of us are held back by constantly trying to be what someone else says. Like if you're a dancer and everybody thinks you should do ballet, but you're a hip hop dancer, like that, they're saying, do what suits you. There's a reason why it suits you. And there's no need to abuse yourself or allow the abuse of others. They should love you and accept you for who you are. And you should love you and accept you for who you are. But that's a really short message. Divine timing. Stop rushing yourself. Stop the negative thought. Let things work themselves out. Do the healing. Learn the lessons. And things will work out. So y'all have a good night.